Hi, my name is Taylor Reagan, and I did my final project on the overuse, underuse, and misuse of healthcare resources leading to wasteful spending. The overuse, underuse, and misuse of healthcare resources is a common occurrence in the United States and around the world today. This wasteful spending quickly creates a larger financial issue. In healthcare management, the supervisors are responsible for many aspects which are meant to effectively allocate healthcare resources while controlling costs to decrease wasteful spending. In this presentation, I will review the research I conducted and detail the overuse, underuse, and misuse of healthcare resources, how it leads to wasteful spending, and what management can do to prevent wasteful spending. For my future career, I am planning to become an occupational therapist, and in any career in the health field, it's very beneficial to know about how you can decrease the wasteful spending and not misuse the resources. What is the overuse, underuse, and misuse of healthcare resources? Overuse refers to the ordering of tests and treatments that are unlikely to benefit a patient or are not aligned with the patient's preferences. This means administering treatments that are unnecessary or unwanted. Underuse refers to services that do not get provided even though they would be medically beneficial. So this is the exact opposite of overuse, and the services aren't provided when they should be. When in overuse, the services get provided when they really shouldn't be. Misuse refers to incorrect diagnoses, medical errors, and avoidable complications like getting an infection from a hospital stay. Overuse, underuse, and misuse of resources. The World Health Organization statistics indicate that in 2011, as a proportion of gross domestic product, healthcare spending in the United States was 17.7%. In Germany, it was 11.9%, and in Canada, it was 10.9%. So the United States is significantly higher than other wealthy nations. The United States has the world's highest per capita healthcare costs, almost double those of other wealthy nations, which is evident in the above statistics. Many experts believe that as much as 30% of the excess healthcare spending in the United States generates little or no health benefit. This means that of all the excess health spending, it's really not benefiting the patients nor the healthcare providers. According to PricewaterhouseCoopers Health Research Institute, wasteful spending in the health system has been calculated at up to $1.2 trillion of the $2.2 trillion spent nationally, more than half of all health spending. So this is a really high number. Types of overuse, underuse, and misuse of healthcare resources. According to Abbott, the root cause of overspending and underperformance in the U.S. healthcare system lies in our mechanisms for paying providers of medical services, devices, and drugs. So this means that the fee-for-service reimbursement incentivizes the utilization of all healthcare services, meaning that each service that the physician will charge them for, they'll get money back for that. So they're charging the patient more by doing these unnecessary tests. Adverse drug effects and inappropriate drug prescribing are associated with a substantial economic burden for both healthcare services and patients. This means that the physicians are prescribing the patient with prescriptions or treatments that may not be needed, so it's causing a cost to both the patients and the healthcare providers. Another type of the overuse, underuse, or misuse of healthcare resources is defensive medicine. This is when a healthcare provider performs a treatment or procedure to avoid exposure to malpractice litigation when treatment may not be needed. And in doing this, it's very costly, but they're really trying to protect themselves from the liability of mistreating a patient or misdiagnosing them or missing something in their diagnosis. What does this have to do with healthcare management? According to Dunn and Hyman, one dimension of a supervisor's job is decisional roles. In this portion of their job, they use the information that is gathered in the informational role to make decisions. The manager is in charge of deciding where the resources can best be utilized in the most cost-effective way. Management is in charge of planning the utilization of resources. Materials, machinery, and manpower are the 3 M's, and those are the 3 components of the planning and utilization of resources. The supervisor has to plan to effectively use the resources in a cost-effective way, and so that the employees can work more efficiently. A detailed plan has to be made for proper use of equipment, instruments, space, materials, supplies, and as well as the employees' and supervisors' time. Management is also in charge of budgeting, which accounts for revenue and expenses in a certain amount of time. Budgeting is a controlling function. Cost control is a significant part of a supervisor's job, essential to involve medical staff and department employees to help them realize that their actions will bring about change. Cost controls are to keep healthcare expenditures from spiraling. Another part of budgeting is the allocation of costs, and that's deciding where the costs go, and it's a huge part of budgeting. How can management decrease the overuse, underuse, and misuse of healthcare resource spending? According to Eva Labro, the role of cost and value measurement in management is part of a strategic agenda to control costs and transform quality in the healthcare sector is of utmost importance. A leading strategy for improving the value of U.S. healthcare is to create incentives for providers to eliminate at least $500 billion worth of wasteful spending that accrues. Incentives help to shape the behaviors of doctors and other healthcare professionals, as well as serve as a way of evaluation. Management must make sure their employees, their physicians, and other healthcare providers have the knowledge and tools to prioritize healthcare services according to value. This means that in order for the physician to prescribe the right treatment or the right medicine, they would need to do some research and have the knowledge of other options that could be more cost effective to them and the patients rather than going with the easiest route and maybe more costly. That is the conclusion of my research project. I really enjoyed doing this project and felt like a lot of the information that I gathered was beneficial to me, and it will also be beneficial to all of the class to review this. These are my references. I found 11 peer-reviewed articles as well as the book. I hope you enjoyed.